What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another trade breakdown. Today I'll be going through a few trades I took this week. Again, the first position we took was a US 30 long. That was an L. Over leveraged a bit. Again, lost 3% on that trade. Eesh, I know that was tough. I took that on my small 10k funded, so it's a bit annoying. But anyways, we also got a W on gold, so that was a plus 1% win. So I'm just gonna dive straight into it. Let me break down these trades. All right, guys, so as you can see for the US 30 trade, I'm gonna pull this up. This was on Friday, the 19th of March, I believe. Or sorry, no, Wednesday, the 19th of March. But anyways, looking at price, I'm trying to identify my daily bias now. This is how I identify my bias, guys. So again, am I looking for buys or am I looking for sells? As you can see here, in terms of market structure, we've been constantly very bearish. Loads of breaks to the downside on the 4-hourly. However, now it's looking like price is starting to reverse. It looks like there's a change in character. How do I know this? Well, this is how I identify it, guys. So again, you have one breaker structure here. So you can see this massive push up. For me, that's one confirmation of break. So for me, this could potentially still just be a liquidity grab. So there's no confirmation of change in character. Another confirmation for me is having that second break to the upside here, and again followed by a massive volume. For me, this is a good bullish sign that price is looking to reverse now, okay? Again, we're having healthy little small pullbacks as we push up. So for me, this is now looking like a change of character. For me, because there's two breaks to the upside on the 4-hourly, I'm going to be looking for buys. However, it has to make sense. Has to be in an area of interest, okay? If, for example, I'm reaching loads of supply zones, like here's a 4-hourly supply zone, for example, am I going to buy here? No, I want to be buying in a discount, probably around here, you know? I do not want to be buying when price is at a premium or reaching a daily order block or, you know, supply zone that's on the 4-hourly. So again, my bias regardless was buys. So let's drop down now to the lower time frame so we can see the hourly. Again, more detail. You got breaker structure to the upside here, break to the upside here, even a break here. You've got okay, one break to the downside here. So for me, only one break, guys. That's just one big liquidity grab. Okay, again, from this position we've got another break to the upside. For me, price is creating high highs, high lows. Generally, we're looking like we're trending to the upside. So now look, we see price, we're coming to an area of interest now. This is a hourly demand zone. Okay, this is coming now to this hourly demand zone. Price is really like kind of like, you know, from the top position here, we didn't create this high, so it is kind of risky to buy here. However, we are pushing away from this area where there's loads of going to be sellers and stuff. So we're coming down to this area of interest where we could potentially catch a quick buy before it creates that kind of like lower high and maybe trends off down. So having said that, what we do now is we drop to the lower time frame. So I'm looking at the 5 minutes now. So this is where I entered, guys, okay? And this is where I got stopped out. So as you can see here, you got a break to the upside here, break to the upside, break to the upside. I was looking for an entry here. Again, we had a break here, lots of liquidity built up. And yeah, I had my setup. So what we had was a liquidity grab on this candle here. It tapped into this 5-minute order block. In hindsight, I was very close to this hourly demand zone, so it was a risky buy. However, it did play out. It just swept all of this liquidity first. So again, this is where patience pays, guys. I should have waited for price to sweep this last bit of liquidity at the bottom here. Again, any breaker structure to the upside, there's liquidity resting below this demand zone. So again, I should have waited for price to sweep this liquidity. However, I was eager. I was an eager beaver. I didn't want price to leave me. So I entered here. Basically, as soon as price candle closed here, I entered my trade and literally one massive just rejection wick candle. I can't believe this. It is what it is. You just got to suck it up, man. I thought my stop loss wasn't really covered, to be honest. But yeah, if it had a bigger stop loss, but like something like this, then obviously the trade would have won. But realistically, I wasn't going to do that. So for me, I had a stop loss of 50 pips. And yeah, price just with one candle just took me out. And then obviously I was liquidity, you know, price swept that and then just carried to the upside. So this would have been a great trade. However, I was just a bit impatient. It's something for me to work on in the future. And also to note that if we're coming to an area where we're close to a supply zone, it doesn't make sense to buy, okay? Like, even though price is very bullish, we just have to be mindful that, remember, like, price has been very bearish. We're entering an area of supply. So again, this is why I marked sells here. So it is quite risky to buy at this level. You want to be buying at discounts when price is around here on these lower levels, you know? So yeah, it is what it is. We move. That was the trade on US 30. So Moving on to gold now. This is a better trade for you guys to see. On gold, again, price was, if we go to the higher time frame, gold was bullish. We've been bullish for quite a while now. So if you can see here, again, on the 4 hourly, break to the upside here, very massive volume up. I mean, we've got one break to the upside and the 4 hour, 2 breaks to the upside. We've only got one break down, and then this hasn't candle closed yet. So for me, this, because it's one break down and price is in a 4 hour demand zone, plus price has swept 4 hour liquidity. So the swing low liquidity here, for me, I was looking for some sort of reaction. So I was patiently waiting for a buy, okay? If I go to the hourly now, we can see now price on the hourly, one break to the upside, 2 breaks to the upside, okay? That again, for me, is confirmation I'm looking for buys, okay? So I was looking for buys. Again, this is an hourly demand zone here. So you can see price like massive wick rejection. So it's respecting this hourly demand zone. So this is good news. We're having a push up, again, pull back down. And then obviously from there, let's drop to the lower time frame. So at this point, when I noticed that price was respecting this hourly demand zone, I would look for my same setup just on the lower time frame. So again, this is the sweep of the 4 hour liquidity. Obviously, we had that kind of reaction from it. Now we are looking for a form of entry. Oh, okay, I didn't take this trade on the 5 minute. I think I took it on the 15. So if you go to the 15 minutes, we can see a bit of a clearer entry. All right. So as you can see, on the 15 minutes, break to the upside here. This was your 15-minute demand zone. Again, price came down, grabbed liquidity. On the 5 minutes, it grabbed liquidity. And plus, it already grabbed liquidity here on the swing low on the 4 hourly. So from this position here, because it taps into this order block, it broke up, had a pullback, and it candle closed above and outside the order block. From here, I entered here with my stop loss just below. So again, this was like, I think like a 50 pip stop loss, I think. And then, yeah, literally price, it was a good trade. I'll leave it here as well. This is how I managed it. You can see price pumped up, pumped up, pumped up. It got to around a 1 to 1.7. And then from that, at that point, I was at break even. And then on top of that, I moved my stop loss to a 1 to 1 because I could tell price action was a bit choppy. And I was like, you know, I need to get my account out of drawdown. So any little win would help. And yeah, you can see there's massive rejection down. So I got stopped out at a 1 to 1. So this trade was a 1 to 1. I think it was here. And again, that was like $100. So I was happy with it. You know, I felt like I managed the trade well, considering gold had already pumped so much, so it was risky to buy. But yeah, I took this trade off the 15 minute. On the 5 minute, it looked, you'll see what I mean, where price was just very, very choppy. It wasn't the best conditions. And as you can see, look, massive volatility. So I think I entered exactly like here. So I entered here when I had that candle close. So that was my confirmation of entry. And then I had a retracement. I was in a bit of drawdown, obviously, in the trade. But then, obviously, price started to pump up. And then, yeah, had a nice little 1 to 1. So we take it. But those were the 2 trades of last week. Again, overall, I'm down 2%. So honestly, on my funded account, I think I'm like I'm back to like -7% again in drawdown. So it's a bit annoying. However, like I said, it's a learning curve. I'm still learning. This is, you know, my journey. I'm just happy that I've still managed to keep this funded account. I'm going to do my best to try and claw it back and get out of this drawdown. I think I've just had a really bad Jan and Feb in terms of I overtraded a bit, and a lot of trades, you know, you make silly mistakes at times. And for me, it was the over leveraging at times, just stupid. So yeah, in hindsight, I know what I need to do, just have strict risk management. And then, yeah, let's fingers crossed. Like I said, I'm going to buy this 100K account and then just try pass it ASAP within a reasonable time frame. So within a month, fingers crossed. So yeah, like I said, this is all a learning curve, guys. Going back to the US 30 trade, I think this one I learned a lot and took a lot away from this trade. What I've recognized and from back testing and stuff is just not to FOMO in, man. Like when I notice price is really tight in terms of liquidity, I want to wait for a deep liquidity grab, like a deep pullback. And that's when I'll know like the masses have been stopped out and I'll feel more comfortable being in the trade. I had all my entry of confirmation. However, having seen this little tight choppiness, I should have known entering here, I'm risking being like just wicked out, like being a form of liquidity. So yeah, in future, if I'm going to take a trade this high up, I'll always wait for this kind of deeper level of liquidity to get swept. But yeah, I was confident in my analysis. It did play out in the end. And again, as soon as it tapped into that 4 hourly supply zone, again, massive reaction all the way down. We had a massive pullback. And again, that was due to the higher time frame analysis. So if we go back to the 4 hourly, you guys can see I'm just going to play price as well. There we go. So again, yeah, you can kind of see like we had that reaction off this supply zone. But again, we had that little pullback, but then price still started to pump up afterwards, I think. Oh no, is it heading down? Oh yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it respected this kind of 4 hourly demand zone. So we'll see. I think for next week, I reckon price will push off this zone. So as you can see, this is a nice little 4 hour demand zone. We grab liquidity below here at the swing. And again, massive wick rejection up. So we're really rejecting this area. We're not trying to push down lower and we're pushing to the upside. So let's just see if price does something like this again for US30 and just continues to kind of like go about its business in reversing back to the upside. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking out for next week. Let's just see. Again, it could easily just keep continuing down. So we really don't know. I think the main thing is that you should also make sure when you're buying low, and when you're selling high. That is literally the basics, guys. Like if you can just figure that out and you can get that same kind of analysis on a lower time frame and you're not trading against the trend, like on the lower time frame, if like the higher time frame is bullish, for example, and the lower time frame is bearish, wait for the lower time frame to turn bullish again before you enter a trade. Like that's for me is key, you know, just trading with a trend. If all the time frames like align, again, you're most likely to get a W on a trade. Like for me, it's just very tough counter trend trading. It has to make sense, you know, like if we've swept liquidity at a daily or 4 hourly order block and you're in an area of a premium, then it makes sense to sell. Then yeah, I get the counter trend trade. However, ideally you want to be trading with the trend. For me anyways, I'm a pro trend trader. I find that that's where I get my best setups. But yeah, anyways guys, hope you guys learned something from this trade breakdown. Like I said, those were the 2 trades last week. A bit annoyed with myself that I over leveraged on one of the trades on US30. Again, that was just lack of patience from my end. I just wanted to get out of this drawdown. However, I just got to namaste, take it one day at a time. Be grateful that I've still got 1 funded accounts just hanging there by a thread, and then take this as a learning curve and practice. It's a small account. The real deal happens like once I start getting these 100k and 200k accounts. That's when like, yeah, I know, all right, cool, I can do this. I can be a profitable trader. So anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the trade breakdown. Hopefully catch you all in the new one. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and take care for now. Peace.